Shalom. We want to give all praise and glory to our Heavenly Father Yahweh. In the name of our Lord and Savior Yahawashi, peace, mercy, and blessing be bound to you, brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth that are waiting eagerly for the coming of the kingdom of our Heavenly Father and our Lord and Savior to deliver us. We want to go into just a few different topics. First, we're going to start off with a new doctrine that's coming out that brothers and sisters should be aware of, just in case you run across it. We're just going to go ahead and attack it now before it kind of gets out there or gets out of hand. So go ahead.
Yeah, this is Genesis 9:20. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren.
Okay. So it said, so this right here, reason why we're bringing this out, because somebody was basically saying that the people that have been traded on the slave trade throughout the world, that they are basically descendants of Canaan according to this particular scripture. Now, this particular scripture and the use of it goes back to what is known in the churches falsely as the curse of Ham. Not the curse of Canaan, the curse of Ham. And I remember those stuff growing up too, like we talked about earlier.
Yep.
That they used to say that the reason why stuff happened to us and the way why we look the way we look, dark skin, have fuller lips, and all that stuff, because we are Canaan, or no, we're under the curse of Ham.
Yeah.
So what's happening now is that there's a guy who there's a group that's actually using that same false doctrine to now say, and mind you, this person is an Israelite group, in his own little Israelite group, saying that that fit that particular description, and that the people that are over here in the Americas, that they're really Canaanites because of the curse that was put on Canaan, which we'll go into to dispel that, and then we'll offset it with the curses concerning Israel as well. Did you say something?
Oh no, you got it.
No, never. Well, I'm gonna go. I can get that to well real quick.
Hey, y'all had to see it, good brother.
Hey, how's it going, man?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, doing pretty good, man.
God bless us.
Doing all right?
I'm doing great.
That's good. That's good.
Where y'all searching these days?
What we searching?
Yeah, where y'all searching at these days? Under what name are y'all searching these days out your book?
Searching? What you mean by searching?
In your book.
Oh, no. We're just going over Curse of Canaan right now. Going over Curse of Canaan. Brothers breaking into it.
Curse of Canaan.
So
God bless us. Hey, man, that's something that's been brightening in my mind. I think it's the day for the revelation. That's something that's been brightening in my mind, but every time I've been wanting to shine all the way on it, it's been taken away from me, so I think it's very listening.
Oh, okay.
The reason why we have to go into this is because a lot of our people have been told, this is the reason why a lot of our people hold on to the Gentiles piece. Because a lot of people have been told that we're not the real Israelites, so they got to run into the Gentile sector where they basically believe that they're Gentiles and that the people over there in our land are the real Jews. And I've even seen a guy that talks about basically relationship or the dynamic of the male and female relationships within the so-called black community. And I've even heard him say stuff like, the Hamitic American woman. So he even was saying that stuff, putting it on his own people. Mm-hmm. And people was up in the comments correcting him like, hey, why are you using that term? We're Israelites, blah, 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 blah. But he was like not getting it. And he even did a response video where he was saying, I'm still going to continue saying what I'm saying. So even he believes it. This guy named C Boogie. He has a YouTube channel. It's called C Boogie Productions or something like that. Mm-hmm. So that lets me know that it's the doctrines. A lot of these false doctrines have origins from before Jake. When Jake comes up with certain doctrine, when you look at the origin of it, you can find Esau already done pushed it out.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't even know it.
Yeah.
But Esau already done pushed a variant of that same false doctrine out anyway.
It's kind of like he's kind of thinking beforehand. So if these guys ever get to this point, we're gonna throw this out at them type thing. So
well, yeah, exactly. Satan develops lies from the truth.
Yeah.
So those lies are already out there.
Yeah.
They've already been out there. So I don't think they did it preemptively. Esau used that as a doctrine to explain why he's oppressing us.
Right.
Because the reason what they did in their slave narrative is the reason why they mistreated us. They said, well, look, they're under the curse of Ham.
Right.
They're under the curse of Ham. So this is what they were built to do.
Yeah.
They're supposed to serve us and be slaves everywhere in the world.
Right.
So they run with that narrative. Everybody believes it. Now it's being believed. Now this guy, I don't believe he believed it based on reading that. I think his frustration with his jealousy or whatever. Oh, that's Isaiah 11. That's Judah, 11 Isaiah 11. You're gonna bring that out because
Ephraim shall no longer. This is Isaiah 11, and I'm gonna start at the 12th verse. It says, "And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
Yeah.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim."
A lot of that stuff stems from really envy, because of a lot of it's spiritual. It's not. It's more spiritual than anything. There's an envy that's naturally there that can always be played upon. Now, whether this guy is actually a Northern Kingdom or he's a Spaniard, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Because when you start to come out with a doctrine kind of like that, you got to start thinking. Because everybody would like to say, well, look, he's a Mexican. He's Issachar. So you just can't do that on the carnal level. Because see, just like when you're going through the scriptures, everything is spiritual in this day and time. Because the carnal aspect, you can be deceived by that, man. See, back in the day, them dudes are a little bit more enlightened about those things. Today, not so much with Jason. So they'll say, oh, yeah, he is a correct. But now you got to...
It's because of the men that were teaching.
Yep, and then now you got to see...
They were lazy in going into history. That's why we deal with the gospel message than versus carnality.
Right.
You got guys lumping in this whole, what's it called? You basically start allowing people to just... you can't control whether someone has faith or not, but you can't just impose a faith upon someone.
Or identity.
Identity and faith. Or like, hey, look, I'm Mexican, or I'm black, or it's like, no, that don't even matter. You could be a September, one of y'all believe.
Right.
So that's what the Most High is looking for, faith. He ain't looking for nationality or imposed nationality. That's why we talked about before 2 years ago or a year and a half ago about the 12 tribes chart, about the proper use of it and the proper thinking of it, about the fact that yes, there is truth that just because you're classified as one thing doesn't mean that you're an Israelite.
Right.
Those are new classifications that you can't even find in the scriptures.
What you call it, the paper bag test and all that type stuff.
Yeah. Paper bag test, or I'm this man that listens, bro. If brothers went into some of the history of certain people that you know in America, or wherever you at, let's go. When you go and you start digging, you'll be like, dang, this guy is actually a descendant of freaking Ponce de Leon, or something like that. You start finding information about different things.
Yeah, that's right.
And then even then, it's like, a lot of people, they don't want to believe that.
Right.
You're saying they want to just believe that. First of all, the territory of Issachar in Mexico didn't stretch all the way up into California. It didn't. The Aztecs and Mayans was basically out in the southern region of Mexico.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then the other areas were more plains regions. It was away from Temecula, which was the ancient city of Mexico City, was built upon.
Right.
Which was the big capital area for the Aztecs. So when you start going into some of these other lands that were not as filled, that's some of the stuff that was given under New Spain, under the King Alfonso and all those Spanish crown. They was giving those lands away to different people in Spain.
Yeah.
Just like Eva Longoria. The Longoria family inherited parts of land in South Texas. And this was in a decree that was given to him to inherit that land.
Now, and then Jake will look at Longoria and say, Longoria, that's Issachar, right?
Yeah, and she looks like she probably looked like an ancient Issacharite.
Yeah.
She got dark skin. A lot of them northern tribes where they were located, they were near Syria. That's why if you look, that's why really, if you really examine it, to be honest, and a lot of people try and talk about this whole mixing thing.
Right.
If you really truly examine it, to a large degree, a lot of these tribes that you see today, they look like that back in the ancient world. I know it's hard to believe, but it makes sense. Because even if you see a Dominican, you can see the difference between a Dominican and an Ephraimite quickly. At least I can. And Simeon lived inside Judah.
Yeah. Because when in my job, there's this Venezuelan sister, and when I came in there, she worked at the deli or whatever. So I go in there. I mean, Colombia. She's Colombian. So I go in there to buy some food and everything. She looks at me. It's at the job. I ain't said nothing. I'm just sitting in the line, just waiting. Then she's like, "Are you Dominican?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm just a brother."
Right.
You know, I'm just a brother.
Right.
And I was like, you know, she looking at my complexion and everything. I got a beard and everything. She thought I was Dominican. I was like, so you can't just go by the way somebody looking and everything and just say, oh yeah, he's this and she's that.
That's a corner way to go by.
Yeah.
But like let me get this right here, Romans 8 and 16. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. Mm-hmm. So, and you know, that's the spiritual way that we can tell that we are the children of the Most High.
Yeah.
You know, because we, a lot of the stuff that's in this Bible, it pertains to us.
Well, we believe it.
We believe it, and I can feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you believe it because when you read about that, that's about the faith of you in the spirit, believing in this word.
In the word,
right.
So that's the reason why anybody in the world that believes in this book, believes in the gospel, they could look like Justin Timberlake and say the same thing. That pertains to them too.
Yeah, and that's good because he specified it too in the gospel. This is how you gonna do it, man. Because you can't do it any other way.
It's good that brother brought up the looks and the carnal thing because the guy that we're talking about, he's using he's using ancient Egyptian
paintings,
pictographs, to say that these are the real Israelites and these aren't.
That's right.
When you look at it, the map of Israel, the land in which the different tribes were, made them have neighbors that made them take on certain characteristic looks. That's the reason why if you look at like the northern tribes, a lot of them look more Middle Eastern. See, Esau will never tell you. Esau will never push mongoloid on you about the natives of the Americas, but will never tell you they look Middle Eastern. Because when you live, if you've ever been around a large group of Middle Eastern people, if you take away like their cultural dressing and some of the customs that they do, if you take away like the beards, some of them are Sunni, so they grow Sunni beards and things like that, whatever it is. If you make them dress like an Issacharite, they will look. If you make them dress like a so-called Mexican, people will think they're so-called Mexican. Because they look like the people in that region. Now, Judah, Benjamin, they happen to live closer to the Philistines. That was our main enemy, the Philistines, and lived by Edom. So that's the reason why, even on a historical level, the look of Judah is going to be varied across the line of the tones, the varying skin tones, to the darker, to the lighter, and the hairstyle, the hair texture, things like that. That's why the Native Americans, the Gadites, they live next to Moab.
Come on, man. High cheekbones.
High cheekbones. You know, they don't grow as much hair. You know what I'm saying? Straighter hair.
That's why Esau come up with that doctrine about the barren straight.
And mind you, he's only using that on a Native American, but when you go to the other natives, they don't look like that.
Right.
When you look at a Native Mayan don't look like a Native American.
You go to the Native Mexican. When you go into the deep interiors of Mexico, they have the Native Mexicans. You would not be able to determine that from a Jake most of the time. Them people are dark with woolly hair, man. They show pictures.
And they still had that Issacharite facial nose, though, because remember the last full-blooded Aztec couple? It's a black and white picture. It has a full-blooded Aztec picture. It's a black and white couple. It's a black and white picture. They're very dark-skinned, but if you look at their facial structure, you're like, man, that's a Mexican. It's just like over here. We know down south, we can look at somebody and be like, yo, we could hey, how many times did we ran up on, remember we ran up on that dude at the bus stop?
Yeah.
We knew that dude was Zebulon.
Right.
We rolled up on that
you
dude,
had
we was just like, that's a Zebulonite.
Right.
So, and the guys live just south of Mexico. But we could tell the difference between Central America, because the tribes all don't look the same. They have different, if you get, but even then, you can't use looks. We're using gospel at the end of the day. The Most High can have someone right in front of you looking straight up like Judah.
Right.
And he don't believe, it don't matter. Mm-hmm. He can look like the patriarch Judah, literally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then Most High can show you a picture of him and Judah and be like, this guy's a descendant of Judah, preach to him. Nigga, I don't believe that shit.
Yeah. And see,
that's not what you do about it.
See how deceptive that is? If he didn't have that on, who would you think that was? You just like, man, that's just a regular old Jake.
Well, you got to remember, according to the law, according to the prophecies, Judah was going to have to be brought into his brethren.
Yep.
Every single last area in North America, Central America, Caribbean, South America, had those of the Southern Kingdom taken into slavery in those regions.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
One thing that people got, that's the reason why you cannot impose identity upon people. Because I give you an example. If you go to the Panama, you got people that came from Jamaica that went to move there and built the Panama Canal.
Yep.
So now you got somebody that's actually coming from Jamaica or the Bahamas. Their people went down to the Panama back in the early 1900s to build the Panama Canal, and their family stayed there. Now you're talking about these Zebulon.
Yeah, now you Zebulon. Yeah, right. You can't do that, bro.
You can't even do that.
That goes the same with Edom. Edom done conquered the Greeks. They done conquered the Romans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those people that used to be Greeks and Romans, they aren't no more. They Edomites.
Buffalo soldiers, those Buffalo soldiers, after they finished fighting, they stayed in Mexico. Nogales and some of these border towns along Arizona and Texas, and they had kids there. And if they've had articles, you pull up their kids, you would think they're straight up Mexican. They're grandkids, great-grandkids now. But their great-grandfather was a Buffalo soldier, but now he's in Matamoros, Mexico.
Yeah,
and you just thinking oh, this is Issachar, but he's Judah. He can be Judah.
Right. Because there's so much mixture. I had a sister that worked with. Well, I thought she was an Issacharite, but come to find out, her father was Judah.
Oh, I showed y'all pictures.
I know.
How many times I showed y'all pictures on Instagram, and I showed y'all people, and you would think they straight up Northern Kingdom, straight up so-called Northern Kingdom, according to our stereotyping, right? And you'd be like, look at the father. Yeah. You'd be like, that is crazy.
And you be thinking, man,
this girl looks like this. And you see it might be 3 or 4 sisters or brothers right there, and you'd be like, bro, look at Matt Barnes.
Come on, man.
When you see a picture of Matt Barnes' dad looked like Shaq.
Come on, man.
But Matt Barnes, if he was down here, we'd be like, this dude look like a tall Mexican.
Yeah, a tall Mexican or Ephraimite or something.
Or an Ephraimite or something.
Yeah.
But he's not.
So, just to let you know, man, that this is a spiritual thing. You just can't be putting Israel on everybody, man, just because you're looking at the eye. It don't work like that, man.
Yeah, you can't do that. It's just and that's the carnal way.
Right.
So now going into you just read that Isaiah about the jealousy. That stuff is really just stemming from the power structure or just the order in Israel.
Right.
It doesn't mean that's the order. Something supposed to be like if you got a camp and the brothers Judah, he got to be the guy. All the Judite guys, they got to lead everything. You see that stuff in certain camps.
You do.
You can kind of feel.
And you don't.
Certain camps, you can see that, and that stuff could cause. That's where the vexation comes in.
Yeah, because and what the brother saying is true, because just because Judah is stated that inside the scriptures, the Lord may have bestowed upon a Zebulonite to be a great orator or speaker to bring that message out. You don't want to bring Judah out there. Judah can't speak. Let the dude who has the talent go out there and utilize the talent, man.
Exactly.
And
you see that, man. Hey, IUIC. They do Judah.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
That's vexing. See, this is the type of stuff that leads to that guy making lessons like this.
That's like us, man. This brother speak way better than me. I don't think I speak very well. He can speak very well, man. What would it be like me and this brother come up, hey man, we gonna be the speakers. And the brother got the talent, man. Why are we gonna try to come up there?
Brothers, because they can speak, man. Them brothers just, the brothers can speak, man. I just sometimes just piece certain things a certain way. That's all. It just makes it easy. The brothers, I call them one take Drake on the lessons. You know what I'm saying? I told him, I said, I'd be starting over and over again. You be going all the way through 10 minutes, though, just straight through. I'd be like, Calvin, man, I messed up here. I done said, I'd be chopping up stuff all the time. I don't think my stuff needs to be like great like that.
But it's just one of those things.
Yeah, but that vexing be happening.
Yep.
And that's what led to this guy coming up with that doctrine, because really a lot of people was vexing him on his comment board saying that he wasn't Israel because he's Hispanic. They'll probably call him a Mongoloid, saying he was a Spaniard.
Yeah.
You got them pro-black only Israelites that come out with them doctrines, and then now the guy that came through and put the verse on you, now y'all butthurt.
Right.
But
we knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah. We knew it was gonna happen.
You putting hate on the Northern Kingdom, man.
You're vexing him.
Yeah, it's bound to come back, bro.
Yeah,
it's bound to come back.
You're vexing him. So now he done went and said, "Look, I'm gonna come back at you and say that y'all king."
That's right.
They came with Esau's doctrine,
right?
Knowingly or unknowingly to say it. Yeah. So now we got to dispel it to this day.
I got a vexation scripture for you on that one, man. I got a good vexation scripture. It's First Kings 12. Now look at this, 1 Kings 12, and this is we were just talking about this in the car.
Yeah.
This is 1 Kings 12. Now this is when Solomon passed. Rehoboam takes the crown. Then he goes and gets advice. Now listen to this, 1 Kings 12. I'm gonna start at the 4th verse, and it says, "Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father and his heavy yoke, which he put upon us, lighter, and we will serve thee. And he said unto them, Depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, How do ye advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever." Now you understand, he's getting that advice from these older men who are more experienced and wise. And he's telling them how he should operate for these people to continue to be servants unto him. But guess what he did? He followed his friends, right? But he forsook the counsel of the old men which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him. And he said unto them, What counsel give ye that we may answer this people, who have spoken to me, saying, Make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter? And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, Thus shalt thou speak to the people that spake unto thee, saying, Thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thus shalt thou say unto them, My little finger shall be thicker than thy father's loins. And now, whereas my father did lay you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. My father hath chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. And then, so Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the 3rd day, and they saying, Come to me again the 3rd day. And the king answered the people roughly, and forsook the old men's counsel that they gave him, and spake to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, but I shall chastise you with scorpions. Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was for the Lord, that he might perform his saying, which the Lord spake unto Ahiah the Shulamite, unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat. And guess what happened with that? Yep. When he forsook that counsel, it's like, man, we ain't have nothing to do with David, man. We out of here. Yep. So what is that gonna do? So Judah, you up here saying it's all black kingdom. Guess what the northern kingdom gonna do, man? They gonna reject you.
What part do we have here in David's house?
Come on, man. What part do we have here?
And that's the reason why we always say the curse is gonna stay to the very end. And what I mean by that is this: there's a narrative out there that says that all Israel's going to get together. In the end, that's a dang lie. The only people that's going to get together is the people that gather under Yahawashi. Everybody else is going to be in a ball of confusion, fight against each other, all the way to the very end. I don't care if all hell break loose, riots, they shut down everything, freaking no food going in. Yep. You're going to have Issachar killing Judah, wherever they got numbers, they're going to be over. Yep. They're going to do all that stuff. Just like people complain about in California or LA, where they do that stuff at, they'll be doing that on that day too.
That's why.
Some of them will link up together. Some of them will link up together carnally and say, we got to survive. We know who our common enemy is. Some ain't gonna give a damn.
Yep. That's why the gospel supersedes nationalism.
Yeah.
So you can't use nationalism like that, man. It's only through the gospel, man. See, most people use that nationalism, say, look, we got to bring our nation together. We can't do it, man, because there's too much division. There was division back then. There's division right now. And so that division, just think about, we just talking about this, just think about how the Roman Empire was set up. You had different factions. You had the Sicarii. You had the Pharisees, the Sadducees, all these different factions. They outnumbered these Romans, man. Because remember, the Roman Empire was a conglomeration of different tribes that they conquered.
Yeah, different nations. Different
nations that they conquered.
Yeah, because in them armies, it was not, when you go into the Greek, into Maccabees, they had Syrians in their army.
Right.
You had other biblical nations that was in the Greek army, in the Roman army. It wasn't just Edomites and then Judites in there, or Israelites.
Right.
Because that's like sometimes the thing that's hidden in the understanding of ancient, especially amongst Israelites to teach.
Right.
They don't go further on and let you know it was a lot like America is, where you had different nations up in the military.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, granted, probably the biggest nation that was in their Roman army was going to be Israelites by default, outside of Edomites.
Yep.
That's the reason why you had such a big problem in the army with the believers that were in the army during the time of the persecution.
That comes into play big time, man. You can't, that piece right there, because the Israelites by far, if they was to unify, they could have took that Roman Empire down like that, but it wasn't in the will of the Most High.
Right.
See, Judah's blessing is to be fruitful and multiply. Israel's blessing is to be fruitful and multiply, and they did that. Right. Even in the midst of captivities, they continue to be fruitful and multiply, man. Right. You look at the numbers of Israel today, man. We outnumber these Edomites, man. Even though they put on the census that it's more of them than us or whatever, man. Them census.
Yeah, when you go to do when they do the numbers on kids under the age of 5, more than half of them is of the tribes.
Yeah.
This is in this country. So what does that mean? The baby boomer Edomites going to die off, and then in the next 20, 30 years, they ain't going to have the numbers.
Yep.
But even then, you got guys that think that numbers is going to help. Numbers don't help if you're just not united.
Yep.
Listen, bro, a lot of you guys got to study South Africa. Study apartheid South Africa and see how them Edomites is able to control everything.
Come on.
The Edomites made up about 10% of the population and controlled the whole land and had full military control. You know why? Because they had different factions and they kept the people divided, and then they made some of them was coon soldiers against their own people. A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
You have people out there that were working as part of the South African military, the police unit, that would actually be sent out to go kill their own people on command. Go break up secret meetings and stuff like that. Go snitch for some biscuits.
Right.
You guys don't understand how easy. A lot of Jakes think that, if our numbers get up, they're scared. Like, I know the sister, Lisa Cabrera, if you know what I'm talking about on YouTube. Lisa Cabrera. She does her YouTube. She has a very popular YouTube page. She goes about population, overdoses. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She talks about that a lot, about how they're scared that they're losing their numbers. But I'm like, listen, a carnal Edomite, a low-level Edomite is worried about numbers. You know who's not worried about numbers? The elites. The elites understand that numbers don't mean nothing if you don't got military might to back it up. If you don't got the control of resources, the control of the means of production, it don't mean nothing. If I got a freaking fighter jets, missiles, drones, and it's 100 of me, and we're going up against 100,000 of y'all are done for. We got the superior weaponry to take all you out.
Yep.
So numbers don't mean nothing to an elite Edomite. It's going to mean something to some Edomite from freaking Brookshire, from freaking Santa Fe. Who's worried about Jake moving in or Pearland. It's like Pearland back in the day used to be all Edomites. Now it's a bunch of Jakes there.
Yep. Jake.
So them type of people is the ones that worry about stuff like that. Not an Edomite that's sitting up at the top of the freaking AIG in the top freaking floor. The AIG, making $1 million a year, knowing he's ready to freaking mess up your insurance, ready to freaking let off your whole family.
You know
what I'm saying? You guys don't know. They ain't worried about that stuff.
They ain't worried about that.
Trust me, man. Them Edomites that moved to Atlanta that got money, they don't give a damn that it's set it was 60%. They said, man, we got own this anyway. They're looking at y'all like, ain't hitting on nothing. You think Edomites in LA worried about Issachar being 50% of the population? Get out of here, man. Edomites living in freaking Beverly Hills, living in Hidden Hills, living in Malibu, Venice Beach. They ain't worried about you, man. They got you. You got your people as maids in the house.
Yeah, that's right.
Get out of here, bro. They need a gardener, they calling you. They need a car wash, they calling you, man. They need a boy to play with, they calling you.
Yep, that's right. That's how it works. That's how it works.
Power is not in numbers, man. Even the Lord showed us that with Gideon, man.
Yeah, it showed right. He took them boys out with only 300 dudes, man. He started off with 20,000 though. Yep. And then he cut them down in half. He said, it's still too many. Take them down low. 5,000. It's still too many. Take them out. You know,
numbers don't matter if you're not united. This is Mark chapter 3 and verse 23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Mm-hmm. The house of Jacob is divided against itself. That's why it can't stand.
Right. Come on,
man.
That's beautiful right there, man.
Right. That's a house divided.
Mm-hmm.
That division is gone back because of the curses, man. Yep. In fact, you can get that in Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to read this real quick. This is 2 Samuel now. This is when we was in the other group, which I already know the name. I brought this out on a lesson to show that we were talking about the division between the tribes. I brought this out as a precept. The dude over there, he went ballistic thinking I was going off by bringing this out as an example. So I'm going to just bring this out because it fits in what we're talking about, because this doctrine is coming out due to division, due to vexation, due to jealousy. And this is 2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 41. And this is the time when King David was basically battling with Saul, and he was basically he had been crowned king, but he was on the run. Mm-hmm. And he was on the run, and they found him or whatever. All the tribes found him, and they were trying to basically bring him back. So this is saying here, and behold, all the men of Israel came to the king and said unto the king, why have our brethren, the men of Judah, stolen thee away, and have brought the king and his household and all David's men with him over Jordan? Now the men of Israel, this is the first time in the scriptures where you actually saw in the scriptures where the men of Israel and the men of Judah were actually split.
Yeah.
The term actually used. Okay? The men of Israel is referring to what we call the northern kingdom. Even though there's nothing in the scriptures, you type in northern kingdom, you're not going to see that.
Right.
So we got to make sure, it's the 10 northern tribes north of Benjamin and Judah. We're saying this to the men of Judah. Mm-hmm. So they said, why have you taken the King David away from us? Now this is the response in verse 42. And all the men of Judah answered the men of Israel, because the king is near of kin to us. Mm-hmm. Wherefore then ye be angry for this matter? Have we eaten at all at the king's cost, or have he given us any gift? And the men of Israel answered the men of Judah and said, we have 10 parts in the king. Mm-hmm. Meaning we got 10 tribes in the king. Right. Mm-hmm. So they're using, this is the vexing, they do not, magnify themselves.
Above
this
Judah.
Is an example of how the 10 other tribes try to magnify. This is the vexation and the jealousy that's going on in here. And
now you see why Judah, according to that, why Judah had to get this thing first, man, because the other tribes would take over.
Yeah, they would say there's 10 of us.
Yeah, there's 10 of us.
There's 10 tribes of us, and there's only 3 of them, or 2 of them. So verse 43 again, and the men of Israel answered the men of Judah and said, we have 10 parts in the king, and we have also more right in David than ye. Woo! Why then did ye despise us, that our advice should not be first had in bringing back our king?
And look at that.
And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel. Which that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because one of the things the northern kingdom tribe talk about, black people talk some funny shit.
Yeah.
They always say that growing up.
Yep.
They would Mexicans be like, man, they just talking that shit, man. They just talking that shit. They always talking shit.
Yeah.
But that's true though.
Yeah.
The scripture said it.
Yep.
Because you already know how much it was snapping back.
Yep. You would have come back harder, bro.
Come back
you be like, man, come on, man.
We gonna fall back to these guys,
fall back, man. Them boys. Boy, got that megaphone on, man.
Yeah, that roar. That lion's roar. That megaphone, bro. That joker be, man, what you talking about? That's, man, they with us, man.
Right.
What y'all niggas talking about?
That's right.
Right now.
That's how I do. That's how I do, bro. That's just how I do.
You see it, man.
But it's all part of the. Oh, you got some more?
That's it.
Yeah, this is Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to start at the 15th verse. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall fall upon thee and overtake thee." Now I'm going to go over here to one of these curses, talking about the that division. And it says, this is verse 54. "So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, toward his wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of the children which he shall lead." So this division is family-wise, then it goes nationwide.
Right, exactly.
So it's a root. It's a root. The Most High, you know, he's digging to the root of the cause, and then that tree is sprouting up, man.
Yeah.
And so
it's gonna, and that stuff, it increases, man.
Yep.
Because when you go into like how it was maybe 50 years ago, you didn't see some of the division going on between the tribes, so to speak, at least at this level.
Yep, that's right.
I was watching a video of a guy in LA. He's a guy from Blood Gang. It's called something Pueblo Bishops or whatever. Guys, brothers in LA that's out there, y'all know. His name is like OG Stutterbox. And he was talking about how when they first back in the 70s and 80s, that they were cool with the Mexicans over there. That was over there. But then when around the 2000s or 90s came around, he said the whole thing changed.
Yeah.
You know, when you go back into like even on the West Coast, you had something called oldies. Oldies is a music that's very popular amongst like so-called, you know, Chicano or Mexican gangs, Mexican culture over there.
Yeah.
Oldies was basically old soul music. You know, like your Shy Lights and all those other groups. War, like Lowrider. That was actually a black band, I believe, that made that song. And that was an ode to the Lowrider culture that was popping up in California. They used to all be cool with each other, be in car clubs together and all that stuff. What happened later? The Most High sowed the division, the discord, man. Now, Esau came in there and was a part of the reason why it got messed up. But the Most High sets it up like that because once they begin to see their numbers, they magnify themselves.
Yep, that's how they do it.
That's in the scriptures, man. They're going to magnify themselves.
That's spiritual,
you know,
right
it's
there.
all spiritual. The same thing happened in New York, man. Guys that are from New York, if you're like in your 30s, you probably remember when, you know, Latin Kings was, you know, out there on some crazy stuff.
Yep.
You know, especially if you ended up in Rikers Island or something like that.
You would hear about them all the time, man.
You know, they would just gang up on Judah. You know, they would gang up on Judah and then, you know. So y'all saw it, but early on it wasn't like that. That was just out of nowhere.
Yep.
But once they got their numbers, a lot of them started coming from the island. They started getting clicked up deeper and deeper. Man, in the 90s, like when the 90s rolled around, them boys was coming up. They didn't even know where it was coming from because Judah would be out there doing their own crew stuff on some like Alpo, paid in full type stuff. They just on their little drug crew gang stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how they rolled over there. And then when they get into the jail, they had no organization. They just popped up in there. These guys, they done got their whole setup.
They already got the whole infrastructure.
They got the whole infrastructure. They just punking you. They out there attacking you.
Now you got to go to the Northern Kingdom. Hey man, I need some seeds, man.
Yeah.
You got to go to the Northern Kingdom.
They getting you off the phone. You on the phone trying to make a call to your family. Bro, this is real stuff, man.
Phone check.
They were straight punking Judah off the phone, bro. This is real talk.
Yeah.
In New York, man. I'm telling you,
it's only until it
backfired eventually.
Yeah, because when Judah's numbers get up, man.
No, once they realized what was going on, then it was a wrap. That stuff ended within a few years, man. They created their own little thing.
Yeah,
it was pretty much a done deal. But if you was in New York in 91, 92, and you ended up in that Rikers Island, you know, Judah was in there deep, but they wasn't united.
Yeah,
them boys had their whole infrastructure. They was straight punking Judah in that joker, bro.
Yep.
But the division was already sit there because Esau sets up doctrines inside the minds of the tribes, man. Break their bands asunder.
Break their bands asunder.
That's in Psalms. Psalms 83. Right? 83. The crafty counsel.
Oh, crafty counsel. Yeah.
82.
Standing. Okay. Y'all just from the top.
Yeah.
Crafty.
Yeah,
I think that's in some that is cut. Yeah, right. That's 83.
83.
Yeah, this is Psalms. Start from the top. Psalms 83. Keep not thou silent, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not thou still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and of Ishmael, of Moab, of the Hagarenes, Gabal.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, they took the crafty counsel against us.
Yep.
You know, I think there's another one said that they break their bands asunder. You know.
Yeah.
But that's in another precept. I forgot which one it was. But that's the one I wanted primarily. Yeah. But this is a crafty counsel.
Yeah.
To basically set the division, man. Like that. They have to do it. That's why you see a lot of these a lot of people they throw up these nationalistic flags, which I call false flagging.
Right,
right. False flag, you throw up a Mexico flag, a Guatemalan flag, Puerto Rican flag, Dominican flag. They don't mean nothing. Jamaican flag. Those are all false. Those are all false identities that our people run to as a covering.
Right.
That's a false covering, an identity, and that also creates division amongst the tribes.
Right.
You know, because of these false identities imposed upon you. You know, you got like if you go to like West Africa, you got Ghanaians or Nigerians being like, oh man, I'm Niger. You know, I'm Niger, and the Ghanaians is like, man, you know, they come and say, man, we got this, we got that. You see that it don't matter wherever you are. There's going to be some kind of level of false identity that's imposed upon your people.
Yeah.
Because again, according to Isaiah 1 and 3, we don't know who our maker is.
Yeah.
That was Psalms 2 you were looking for.
Psalms 2. Yep. Because that was you can go ahead. You got it?
Yeah.
You can go ahead and get it.
This is Psalms 2, verse 2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in heaven shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision.
Yep. So after they were finished with their slavery, and their chains were broken upon them, off of them, the yokes of iron, they made sure that they were going to cause any kind of level of division amongst people. A prime example is what they made the North American Indians do. 5 civilized tribes. You got to own black slaves.
Right.
It's the only way you're going to get any land.
Right.
And Judah, y'all look at that stuff today, and y'all be like, oh, they owned us in slavery. Bro, you don't know what was going on. First of all, one, you had $5 Indians that were made chiefs over the tribes.
Come on,
and they wanted the land and the slaves for themselves too, but they imposed that upon them. Now, when it got to the Civil War, you had the Civil War that happened. The 5 so-called civilized tribes had to fight on the side of the Confederacy. They were forced into that union, but the leaders of those 5 civilized tribes were Edomites, man.
Come on, man.
And if you go into it, when you go into the actual information, it shows you. You can literally read on Wikipedia. They will show you Edomites that will be sitting there, and they'll be like, "I'm chief of what's it called?"
Come on, man, and that's so cold right there, man. That I brought that up because when you go into the history also, when Jake was running away from their slave masters and everything, most of them went into, like in Florida, they dwelt among the Seminoles, man.
Yeah.
These were Jake Seminoles. These were Jake Israelites right here, and they let them come in the midst of it. What he's speaking of on that piece is totally true, because when you go into that and you see those pictures, those were those $5 Indians, man, that they always saying that, Esau's a lie, bro. It's just straight.
The Dawes Rolls, man.
Come on, bro.
It's called the Dawes Rolls. I mean, Edomites paid $5 to get on the Dawes Rolls to be part of the 5 civilized tribes because they were promised allotment of land and slaves.
Come on. That's a total misconception of
and that's one of the arguments that's used against the Northern Kingdom, especially the natives of the Americas, which would be primarily Gad and Reuben.
Yep.
That's used against them all the time by uneducated Jakes that don't understand.
Right.
We're not saying that they weren't made slaves. We're telling you how it happened.
How it happened. Yep, that's right.
Because initially, the reason why Esau did that was because he didn't want rebellions to occur by that union.
Yep. Yep.
Because look what happened in Jackson, in Florida.
Yep.
With Andrew Jackson, the Indian killer, he had to go.
Yep.
You know, these Edomites, you know, President's Day, they celebrate Andrew Jackson. This guy's nickname is the Indian Killer.
Yep.
But then they're going to tell you to go and celebrate Thanksgiving, man.
Come on, man.
And this guy went down there, which was Spanish territory, and fought. That's the reason why it's called Jacksonville, Florida today. Jacksonville, Florida is named after Andrew Jackson, who was a general in the United States Army that was sent to go fight against the Seminole Indians who had so-called slaves of the Southern Kingdom that was in their midst, that was fighting and getting them stronger and stronger.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's why later on they conscripted and said, you know what we got to do? We got to get these people off their land, and then we got to make them lower, not look at their brethren as equals.
Right.
And that was the crafty counsel that they used.
Man, that's some serious stuff right there. Man, y'all brothers got to get a couple of those books out there. Man, you got what's Blacks and Indians?
Yeah.
Blacks and Indians.
Black Indians. It's got
the Indian and the Jacob. You got to get those books, man.
And that's another vexation,
Yeah.
The whole y'all are not the real natives. It's another vexation that y'all Judites are using.
Yeah.
Y'all using that and saying that the real natives, they were all black, they were all this shit.
You can't do that,
Get out of here with that, bro.
You can't do
Because even when y'all show the pictures of them dark-skinned ones, their hair be straight.
Come on,
and your ass be putting that freaking that yaki in your head.
Yeah, and
you be putting that weave in your head, and you talking about y'all Indian.
Now you got to go. Now a lot of times you
don't be standing here lying on that.
Because here in Texas, Louisiana, you have what is called powwows. And if y'all ever go to powwows, you'll see the different varieties. Like
there's different families of natives.
Yeah, and you'll see lighter skinned natives, but you know they're natives. You can definitely see those Edomites up in the midst of those people. You be like, come on. But then, you just never know. You can't look at the outward appearance.
I think when you go further west as well, the natives like Lakota Indians.
Yeah.
Lakota Indians tended to be taller and bigger. And ate bison meat that were very strong. So they lived out in that area where there was a lot of bison.
Yeah.
And then if you go to California, a lot of them were very dark. Because it was sunny year round, they weren't dealing with winter. And then on top of that, you got different families.
Yeah.
You got different families within the tribes, man. You might have had a family that might have been more of a living on the western side of the Gadite country that wasn't bordering Moab.
Yep.
And they didn't look as the Most High has it like that, man. Just like I told if you go into different native peoples within even Africa, man, they even amongst them they have different families and looks, man.
Yep.
Like I told the brother, I've showed pictures. You'll see people straight Igbo.
Yeah.
And they look like a damn Puerto Rican, man.
Yeah. And that ain't got nothing to do with confusion of faces, though, too.
Yeah. There's no confusion of faces. I've showed the brother. I remember the brother, the church for room.
Yep.
He was talking to that chick and he had to reply.
Yep.
The guys asked him, is that chick mixed? He's like, no, she's 100% Igbo. But she looked like a damn, she looked like she was damn like Puerto Rican or something.
You can even see it like in my family, on my mom's side, they're Carajaracho, or what they call here Cato Indian. They call them Carajaracho in the language. And you look at her dad. Come on, man. I mean, you can see that feature in him, but the dude is, he's way dark. He was way darker than me. Way darker than me, man. So you gotta, like brother say, these different tribes, man. Everybody is not gonna look like Shaft in every tribe or whatever, man. You're gonna have these different varieties, man. It's gonna be like that. What's going on over there?
Look at this guy. What's he doing with this?
Man, look at this dude, bro. Look at this dude, man.
He must.
Look at this dude.
What happened?
Look at that dude truck.
Oh.
That dude going against the traffic.
That don't even make no sense, huh? So did he bust? You think he came here and busted a left?
That boy, I think that boy busted that.
This guy.
Look at this guy, man.
Well, this dude might have to watch out. There might be something wrong with that dude. You can't even try to do that.
Lucky
man,
Jake,
he see all these cars walking this way.
That's crazy.
That boy went against the grain, bro.
That's crazy.
He lucky he got a Jake police officer.
Yeah, he lucky he got a Jake police because Jake don't want it.
But was that Jake in the truck?
But you know, Jake police ain't trying to trip. He saw him probably make a scene out of it. Jake like this, man. Just back out. I'm trying to get home. I gotta watch the game tonight.
Yeah.
He ain't, he saw him probably done arrested the dude. Because that right there, that's a traffic violation.
He would have gave him
Because you're not even, if I'm not mistaken, you're not even supposed to, you can't even look, there's no turn.
Right.
This is on the main street, you can't even turn. So the only way he could have done that,
He would have
is if
turned.
he had to turn from there.
Yeah, yeah.
So he could have gave him a ticket just off of that alone. But Jake's like, look, I ain't gonna waste my time with you. Just back out and go down the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Jake
Esau would have probably got, I'm gonna write you a ticket.
How Esau do it?
It probably
They would have get tested him for
it might
alcohol.
have been Issachar or something.
Yeah.
And he might have just not known what he was doing. Because, you know, in Houston, Jake ain't used to one-way streets.
Yeah, they ain't used to
I'm not going to lie, that stuff it used to trip me out when I used to first started driving. When I used to one-way streets in Houston.
When I first started driving here downtown, I hated coming downtown because every time I'd be like, and then, you know, I have my mom with me because I was younger. I was in college, man. She said, boy, you can't go there because my mom worked downtown. So she knew the one ways, and I'm up here just riding. I'm like, oh, let me turn this way.
And they have accidents all the time. If you go over there off of 59, you know, 59 and Shepherd and Greenbrier, man, they be accidents all the time. I saw one the other night. There was a dude coming down, he think he can make a right turn, and that joke was a one-way, Shepherd going just one way. On the other side, collision. Because that area, there's no one-way streets anywhere, but then when you get to Shepherd and Greenbrier, those are one-way streets. Every other street, every other exit is two-way. You go down Kirby, it's two-way. You go down Bissonnette, you go down Buffalo Speedway, you go down Edlow, it's two-way. But that one just happens to be one-way. People be having accidents all the time.
Getting smashed over there.
You gotta know the way, man. You gotta know the way, the truth, and the life, man.
Yeah, the way.
You gotta follow the navigator, man. Yahawashi.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Not Hanno, not Amerigo Vespucci.
The truth, the way, truth,
true navigator, man. Solomon, man, the original napster.
That's right.
The original map maker, man. What y'all know, man? The original navigator, man.
Oh, I tell you, man.
I go over some of y'all's head, though.
I tell you, man.
Yeah, like I see. But yeah, man, the vexation of what's going on within the tribes is described in scriptures, like the brother already brought out in Deuteronomy.
You know,
can bring out a more division.
Yeah, because this is First Maccabees 11 and 21. This is the time of Judas Maccabees, and it says at the time, of Jonathan, and it says at the same time Jonathan gathered together them that were in Judah to take the tower that was in Jerusalem, and he made many engines of war against it. Then certain ungodly persons who hated their own people went unto the king. So now you have enmity, division in our people, even back then, that hated their own people, man. Certain ungodly people, persons that hated their own people, and went against the Maccabees, bro.
Yeah, so
Jason hated his own brother.
Yeah,
come on, Al.
Jason went against his own brother. He wanted to undermine him and become the high priest.
Come on, Al.
Come on, Al.
That's straight division.
So why are you surprised if somebody from Mexico or from Latin America is linking up with Edomite supremacist groups?
Right.
Man, this is a spiritual division that the Most High put upon us, man.
You know?
Jake was so dirty. Jason was trying to undermine his brother, but the other Jake undermined Jason and got up in there before him.
Come on.
Because as I said, it labored under him to be the high priest. It says he labored under him.
Yeah.
He promised gold and silver, talents, really taken probably out the temple.
It's cold, man.
Hey, man, what about these guys signing? Hey, you got all these guys out here. Your boy Clarence Thomas. I mean, come on. You got all kind of stuff. You got examples here.
Yep.
You got modern day examples, man.
Man, division is in the midst of us.
They be like, man, the Mexicans, they hate us. You know, your own tribe. You got people in your own. Maxine Waters ain't fighting for you.
That was
Barbara Jordan. And Al Green.
Did you king.
People selling you out right now.
You see it in the camps. The Ephraimite that left. He was one of the top Ephraimites over there, man.
Well, he's still back. He's back in there, but
he's
back in there. But maybe it was another guy, or maybe he came back. But they was talking about it on NYC.
Yeah.
He wanted to break off and create their own like Northern Spanish division type camp.
Right. So that thing is there, bro.
It's there. It's part of the curses, man.
And man, this is the thing, man. You got to you know, you got to be free in Yahawashi in this thing, man. You can't be under the thumb of people like that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's sort of one of the problem we had in GMS, man.
Yep.
You have no freedom in Yahawashi.
Yep.
They were trying to make a service unto men.
Yeah, because when you start to see how the word or how the scripts are supposed to be broken down precept upon precept, majority of the time, man, you know, that thing gonna flow from the old to the new.
Yep.
That's why we bring treasures out, both old and new, man.
Exactly.
We go from the old to the new, and that's how you know that the word is true. So when you see a breakdown, you say, man, these dudes going off. More than likely, man, it's only one aspect. Either they just gonna have it in the old, and they say, oh well, look, this is what it means. Well, show me the precept to it.
Yeah, because you got what's called private interpretation.
There you go. There you go.
You know, and you know, it's like we were talking about earlier with this doctrine, which we had to kind of deviate a little bit by going into division as to why these breakdowns are coming out.
Yeah.
Now we can kind of go into the whole curse of Canaan thing and kind of just dispel it as well. Now, one of the things the guy was saying was about how we're all in slavery and all that stuff. Now, let's go into the scriptures on slavery, right? On whether or not, you know, basically, let's deal with Canaan a little bit, mix like some of the scriptures concerning Canaan and Israel. So I'm gonna get one real quick. There's one in Amos chapter 1, and then there's one in Joel 3. Because, in fact, let's if you go into the red letter with Yahawashi, okay, when you go into the red letter with Yahawashi, he tells you about. In fact, it's Luke. Let me get this real quick, because let's deal with this. Because the guy's saying this now. One of the lies that Esau put out there was that the curse of Ham, like we talked about before. Now, one of the things Esau will never tell you about is the fact that, according to the scriptures, according to prophecy, Israel is supposed to go into slavery. That's how they run around it, because they give you one lie, they don't let you. They give you one lie, and they don't reveal the other side. And they can't prove that with them gutter rats in our land. They can't prove it. They can't prove the curses with that.
Right.
So this is Luke chapter 21 and verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. Now, these nations are some of all the biblical nations.
Yep.
Now, when you go into history, you got multiple slave trades, not just transatlantic. You had trans-oriental. You had slave trade that went from the eastern coast of Africa, primarily Zanzibar, modern-day Mozambique, Malawi, that went into the Middle East, to Persia, to East India, to China, southern part of China, all the way to Japan, which was called the Nanban trade. Okay, so we can go from east to west. The Most High said, "I will scatter you into corners." Man.
Yeah, all nations. That's like, well, when I was overseas, there was this these brothers. They would like to go throughout the area over there in the east, and they would just take trips and stuff. Like they went to Afghanistan, and once they went over there to Afghanistan, brothers come back and they like, "Hey man, them Afghanistani people over there, bro. Some of them dudes looks like some straight up Puerto Ricans, straight out of New York. They was up there just talking about it. I was like, man, these dudes do not." He say, man, you can see certain ones. You say, man, okay, Afghani. But then there'll be some in the midst of them. He's like, man, hold up, man. That brother look like so-and-so out there in New York, man. Yeah. You know? So you got all nations. When he say all nations, he really means all nations.
And you could prove this by some of the ones that got higher populations of people. For example, if you go to Iraq, go to Basra. The regions in Iraq, you got what they call the Black Iraqis, which when you go into the history, they were part of the slave trade. That's why they called them Abid, and they go into the history. You can find documentaries on them about these people, because when them soldiers went over there, they were shocked to see that. Right. So what happened was, when that information came out to the West, they started doing little documentaries about Black Iraqis.
Right.
Another one is the Black so-called Iranians that are from the Baluchistan, which is the southern part of Iran, by the Persian Gulf, which is where the region where they were brought to and made slaves. Now, the people that, among them, that are descendants of that is them twins, Malika and Khadijah Hawk, that were in, what's it called? I always talk about it, in the ATL.
Yeah.
Malika and Khadijah Hawk, both of their parents are Iranian, man. They speak Farsi.
Yeah.
They look like they straight from here. But that's their history. When you go to India, they got a group of people just like that in India.
And see, that's where a lot of you guys, you'll look at, you'll say, like these guys coming out with these false doctrines. This was the place of captivity that we were delivered from. Remember the dude we were talking about?
Yeah.
Talking about America was the place where the captivity was or whatever. But see, what y'all fail to realize is that people were being taken from Africa, taken over to Europe, from Europe over here, from America over to here.
Yep.
They was taking Native Americans from here, taking them over there, people over there, bringing them over here. I mean, it was all over, bruh. You can't be like, oh.
And Esau wrote about this stuff.
He wrote about it. It's history on it, man. And why y'all, y'all brothers just, you just like pulling stuff out your butt, man. And deceiving people, man. But, hey, the spirit of...
man, the Most High had a particular doctrine that he made, and he had a doctrine, not a doctrine that's true and pure. He said he was going to do this to us. He did it to us.
Right.
This is Joel chapter 3 and verse. Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time when I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, bring again means I return, meaning that I go back on it.
Right.
So when it says bring again, that means I'm going to reverse them being in captivity. I'm going to take them out of captivity.
Right.
That's an old English saying, just in case you get confused about it when you read it. And I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel.
Right.
Whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land, which has happened. This right here happened.
Clear cut, bro.
Scattered, land parted as their inheritance. And then when you go into Zephaniah, it tells you Edom did it, man.
Yep, that's right.
Get Ezekiel chapter 35. According to my possession.
He said, prepare blood for blood.
Go to 36.
Therefore, this says, surely my jealousy has spoken against the residue of the heathen.
Yeah, that's it.
This is Ezekiel 36 and 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey.
This is what's right here.
It links in.
Yep. So the Most High, so he scattered all of us. He scattered our people. Now the Northern Kingdom, according to the scriptures, the bulk of them, or the good chunk of them, came over to the Americas, which is known as Arsaroth.
Yeah.
Even Esau in his own book said that's where the 10 tribes went.
Right.
In fact, Christopher Columbus, if you look at Conquest of Paradise, 1492 with Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
He used Esdras in there and said that's how he knew. But the lie they tell you in the public fool system is that he thought he was going to India for spices. Listen,
that boy knew what he was doing.
Listen, dude, there's no way in the freaking 15th century that you don't know where India is.
Come on, man.
It's impossible. You coming from Spain too?
Yeah.
Of all places, you already know to go east in the Mediterranean.
Man, these dudes were master navigators.
Come on, man.
They had masters of this thing.
They already knew they could go around the continent of Africa and go into the Persian Gulf and then take them trade winds all the way down, because the roughest waters were down at the southern tip.
Yeah.
Once they got past there, they just shot them right back up.
Right.
Towards like the Arabian Peninsula, and then they could take that and go to India. And they're there, man. That was a common route, man.
Man, they knew.
They gonna lie to you in this public fool system and tell you that lie. That he thought he was going to India.
So, man, if that dude was that ignorant, man, you think King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella would be dealing with that cat, man? They would not, because to do an expedition, you have to have some finance.
Come on,
you think they're gonna put that much money into a fool's hand that don't even know where India is? They're gonna be like, man, get this, man, get out of here.
Hebrew translators.
Come on, bro.
Come on, man.
And y'all don't give credit to the older generations, man. But they were more wiser and more intellectually stout than the people of today are, definitely.
Because the people of today get bombarded with more lies than any time in history.
Come on, man. It ain't nothing but...
Essentially, if you're a so-called black man, you're the #1 recipient of lies, man. You get more lies than anybody else on the planet. The so-called black man living in America, you are the recipient. You get more lies told to you, and you believe more lies.
Yep. And the only way that you can get out of those lies is through this book. This is the only way you're going to be able to get out. Because they even made documentaries about it, how there's so much disinformation pushed out right now, nobody can really tell what's the truth and what's not.
Yep. Jake be the #1. If you go online, you'll see Jake putting out more misinformation than anything. Especially Judah, man. They'll talk about, we talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine, and you guys would be putting all kind of lies. They'll be like, man, that DJ Academics, he was the informant. He was the informant that snitched on Tekashi. Y'all be the main ones creating lies, man.
This stuff be bad, man.
And then with no information to back it up, you ask Jake, man, where you get the information from? Man, see, somebody told me.
Somebody told me.
You got Jake out there, man, the mother goddess Earth, the Barflin gland. She the mother Earth. She the Barflin gland. She done raised up her own child.
Man.
Jake be the main ones with Judah be the main one with the most lies.
Boy, that stuff be horrible, bro.
You know?
I be
the Barflin gland, man. And then you got a Jake telling you this with a straight face. With a straight face, he ain't smirking, he ain't laughing, nothing. He's serious.
How y'all doing?
All right.
Yeah. Like the 12 tribes.
All right, appreciate it.
There's 144,000 people. So that tells you, there's only 144,000 people going.
This guy got a reindeer sweater on trying to tell us about the scriptures, man. Hey, show us where Rudolph is in the scriptures, bro.
Rudolph ain't in the scripture.
Where's the Christmas tree in the scriptures, man?
Go, I'll catch you. I'll catch you. The 12 tribes.
Hey, man.
Roughly, it was 144,000 people.
No, it's way more.
No, it wasn't that much more.
It says Israel's going to be as the sand of the sea that cannot be counted for multitude.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Abraham was supposed to have
Hosea chapter 1.
as the sand
Hosea chapter 1
the sand on the beach, right?
What?
Hey, them people over there in the land claiming they're Jews, they're like 12 million people on the earth. Get Hosea chapter 1 and verse 10. Let's
Hosea chapter 1 verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
I know.
Which cannot be measured nor numbered.
That's right. Hey, 144,000.
Does that sound like 144,000 more?
It's way more than that. It's way more than that.
You're correct. You know what? Y'all correct. Y'all correct. But God told Abraham the same thing, right? His thing would be very that's the same.
Where is the sand? Our people are as the sand of the sea, man. That's why they lie in the census every 10 years.
That's it.
And you know it, man. You know that so-called black people in America ain't no 12% of the population. You done been from West Coast to East Coast. You know we're deeper than that.
Oh yeah. Hey,
you know it's a lie.
God bless y'all.
All right.
Y'all be good.
All right.
I'm having fun.
Enjoy yourself, man.
Hey,
all right. No hard feelings, man.
Hey, God didn't give us this in our boat.
Hey,
that's right.
Hey, be careful, bro.
You be safe out there.
Listen to that heathen wife down there.
Hey, is a lady about to chop that head off.
That's all you hear down there. Like
look at that. Woo.
That one way we talking about it.
That must be an age.
That was trained right there,
That must
bro.
be an age. Forget that, I'm going on.
That boy had a nice whip too.
Hey, that boy was on that train.
He could have hit the back of that joke.
But see, that's what starts happening during this time too, man. People be out their minds.
Well, a lot of times people, they don't, until this holiday season comes, they don't drive down the stairs, so they don't know how to navigate.
Yeah, because that boy was going straight on train tracks, man. Like, how you going to
back up today? Then it is this $80,000 boat.
Yeah, because he could have hit that pole right there.
Is it ugly Christmas sweater day or something?
Man, everybody got them ugly Christmas. They pull them things out of there.
That boy got cut immediately. 144,000. Much I say, man.
You know he ain't part of that number then.
He had to. Well, hey, at least he was Edomite that admitted he was wrong.
Yeah. And then I give him that 12%. He said, "You right about that."
Yeah, but I tell you what, you heard his wife down there.
That's all you can hear the whole time.
Oh yeah, because that holiday season is all about the woman.
Oh yeah.
Especially Christmas, man.
Hey,
Jake don't care about Jake. He's really just doing that for family's sake.
Man, Jake, look here, Jake. Man, you you have high holy days, man, that the Most High gave you, and then you don't necessarily have to do it like these heathens, but you have one called Hanukkah, and you got that. What is that? Hanukkah 4. I mean Hanukkah 4. Maccabees 4. Yeah. It says, this is Maccabees 4:51. It says, furthermore, they set the loaves upon the table and spread out the veils and finished all the work which they had begun to make. Now on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month of Caslu, in the 140th year, they rose up. Verse 54. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it. Even at that was it dedicated with songs and with cisterns and with harps and cymbals. Then all the people fell on their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success. So they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days. So man, he's giving it to you, man, right there. You can have days where you can celebrate and have your fun or whatever.
I knew so-called Jesus celebrated that when I was in high school.
Yeah, and then you have the Purim too. You have Purim. They gave gifts, man. You actually have two actually high holy or holy days or feast times or whatever that you can give gifts to each other. If you like to. The only thing, these Edomites do too with birthdays and Christmas, but then we don't celebrate birthdays. We have Purim and Hanukkah, man. So you can tell your Isha or your wife or whatever. For brothers who have problems with that,
here we go, y'all.
Baby, cut.
It's that good feeling though. It's the nostalgia.
That's
keeping them wanting to do that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's
that's the feast of Bacchus.
That Bacchus. They want that Bacchanal.
Saturnalia.
Yeah,
that's why I see these people. They go on employee parties, Christmas parties, which are nothing but an excuse to get drunk and commit swinging. Like a high little Edomites in these high companies, man, they be using that as an excuse to have a party and swing.
Come on, man.
You know,
boys, man, this stuff is crazy, man. Jake, man, this time is getting shorter. You can't keep playing around with this stuff, man.
Yep.
Because the faster this clock is going to the end, man, that means that's less time for you to get the understanding of Yahweh and Yahawashi.
Yep, especially with the way they're censoring YouTube.
Yep.
A lot of YouTube, even outside of what's gospel-related stuff, but anything that, because remember, information is warfare.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Satan, the serpent in the garden, turned this place the way it is with false information.
Come on.
Not with a freaking gun.
Yeah.
Not with a sword, but with false information.
Yeah.
So when you go on YouTube, a lot of information that's warning men, especially stuff that deals with organizing men, getting them to realize what's going on, which will then cause men to do what's natural, which is to put themselves in a position of defense and offense to take down the system.
Yeah.
Anything like that is being demonetized, being attacked, because men are realizing what's going on.
Yeah.
It even tells you when you go into the prophecies about how the people will rise up against the princes, the rulers of the world, and the power is going to be in their hand. Most High going to tilt the favor on the people above the elites.
Right.
And you think that's going to be a bunch of women doing that? It's going to be a bunch of men of all nations figuring out what's going on and trying to basically overturn the systems,
right.
Wherever they're at. So that's why when you go on YouTube, they attack things like, even doctrines we don't believe in, but they have certain elements of it that are dangerous to the elites.
Yeah.
Because they're realizing what's going on. MGTOW, Idmore, whatever. And you got these men that are realizing, and you got what's called the Truther movement, which they give out information about the chip, the RFID chip. They give you information about the economic collapse. They give you information about how they're going to basically to prep to get your ammunition, to get prepared.
Right.
They're doing all of those things, and then they're also letting you know who's controlling you. They're going over the bankers, the henchmen, all the actors, all the people that act in controlling and what's it called, lying to the people, deceiving the people. They're attacking that. These are men that are. So that's part of the reason why when you go further on with this gospel, they're going to try and conceal that because this is the most dangerous information on the earth.
And it is. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But the Most High is not going to allow them to do that until the time comes.
Until they're sealed. Until all His servants are sealed. And here's the thing too, when you're talking about a time, because see, Jacob be like, oh man, let me get it in the last minute. Well, no, it don't work like that. Because see, you know, you be bidded to the feast, and the Lord come and say, where's thou done?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, hey, he cast them into utter darkness, man.
Yep.
So you got to be like really digging into this and get the understanding of it, because otherwise, man, you won't know what what your right hand from your left hand in this thing, man.
Right.
Because there's a lot of things in here that'll get you tripped up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You read even Jake's today, man, reading this book, man, trying to break down certain things, and man, going straight left.
What the hell is that? Is that a woman? Was that her man? Her woman?
No, that was a dude.
That was a dude?
What you talking about right there in that green?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's two girls. It's two girls.
But the girl
in the green is, that's a girl.
It must be lesbian couple or something.
Yeah.
I was confusing with that. Well, that was.
Yeah, because that's why, you know, brothers will try to, you know, I think the longer you stay into this, man, you get to the point where you just be like, hey man, here it is right here. This is what it is. And then you be like, hey, I can't fight with you. Either you gonna want it or you not, you know?
Yeah.
It gets that way, and you know, when you first get into it, you be sealed up. You want to give it to everybody.
Well, there's always a new person that's going to be finding this out. Because a lot of Jakes, you got Jakes that's just asleep. They might hear about certain things, but they're just fully asleep. They're in their own world.
Right.
And then they start doing research. Because a lot of times you got people, they cluster together.
Right.
They cluster together to where they all...
He's a white boy. Huh?
What's up?
All right, man.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah. So, but
you have people that are just in the darkness with themselves. You know, they're doing their own thing, and they don't know about the end of the world. A lot of Jakes still laugh at you if you tell them that. It's like you'll tell Jake don't vote. Like voting doesn't work. They'll laugh at you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, you can't really fight with them. Man, I got to the point. I don't even speak on stuff a lot of times now. Back in the day, I used to be trying to bring it up all day. Hey man, look. Hey man, you is, bro. I don't do that no more, man. I just be like, hey man, I just work, and when somebody come up, you know what I'm saying? I talk to them, be like, hey man, you is. Oh yeah, that's cool. If they ain't trying to feel it, I just go on. I don't be trying to. Hey brother, come on man, you gotta get this, brother. You gotta get this.
Yeah, you gotta get this now.
You don't. It don't work like that.
You can't force it upon people.
Yeah.
Right, because you don't do the choosing anyway.
Yep, you don't do the choosing, man.
It's like it says, I found of them that sought me not, man.
Right, that's
how
right.
I set up a situation where
If they ain't called, you ain't called.
Run into somebody, come talk to somebody, or watching something else pop up on a video.
Right.
See something that sparks interest, they start watching more and more, then they start getting inquisitive about it.
Right.
They start asking questions that before you know it, they believe, they want to get baptized, they want to get delivered. You know, they realize the handwriting's on the wall, man. You tell Jake out here the handwriting on the wall, they can't see it. A lot of them Jakes, they can't see. When the gentrification been going on in Third Ward the last 10 to 15 years, the Jakes can't see nothing going on, man. These guys are still doing their own thing.
And seeing that, you know, one of the things, man, I think, you know, Jake kind of look at you, be trying to push it on our people. But you got to understand, man, it's only a remnant that's going to be saved.
Yep.
That's not a lot of people, man, in the midst of billions of Jakes out here, man. You know, so it's tons of us out here, man. And, you know, it's a small number. You kind of look at it.
It says it, because we just read it, even though Israel be saying it says yet a remnant.
A remnant. Yep, a remnant shall be saved, man.
He said, even though it may be as a saying, I'm just still going to save a remnant.
Even Esau know it's a remnant. When he came up here talking about 144, even though he was wrong, he knew it's a small number that's going to be saved.
Yeah, he knows. So he's even trying to kind of like come at us, like showing us the chances are slim.
Yeah.
He's like, he looked at that shrine, he knows it's way more than 144,000 just on this side of the world.
Right.
So he's like, you got to try and be 144,000 of that.
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
That's what he was trying to be, sarcastic.
Good luck. Good luck with that. I'm going to go and worship this Jesus.
That dude went there and started applying that wisdom of Solomon too. And their voluptuousness is throwing their tokens. He was basically saying, I'm finna go out here and live it up, man. That's what he said.
So he's just gonna live it up, man.
You know, it's really all
living his best life.
Yeah, living my best life. That's right. living room that ain't got.
You're gonna be living it up like Ja Rule. Do I do? Hallelujah, be living it up.
Yeah.
Do I do? With that boy Neo?
Yeah.
Yeah, with that boy.
Yep, that's right.
Living it up.
I tell you, man, this thing ain't, it's better. Jake try and get this thing right now, man. God, man, you don't want to, I mean, all of us who are out here, and who people listen on YouTube, man, we all prisoners of hope, man.
Yeah.
Because we don't have some sort of barometer that says that we're gonna automatically make it in there.
That's right.
Like, we at 75%, so you done passed that 60% mark to where you in. We ain't got
that church doctrine, that Christian doctrine, all you got to do is believe and you say.
Right. Yep. Well, that's the most deceptive thing that knock people down.
Keep on.
Because in churches, I saw them brothers in Sakari. They went out there to one of the churches and went there to check the pastors, and then they wound up kicking them out the church, man. He said, man, I thought this was a Bible study. We can ask questions.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, he just lifted his hand up and asked the question. And he said that the lady said that we could ask questions. So I asked the question, now they're kicking us out.
They followed him across the street, didn't they?
Yeah, followed him across the street. So that, that just lets you know that, Jake ain't about no truth. But see, while he was in there, he says, you know what? They wasn't about the truth. But at the end of that Bible study, they passed that plate around. So that plate is all about the bread, man. It's all about that bread with the people, man.
Yep.
You can't, man, Jake, you got to get out these churches, man.
See the one with the guy came from the top of
and like an angel on the rope. Yeah,
they had him gliding through from the top on a rope to the front.
You saw that one Edomite lady. She was sitting. She was about to jump out
because he's talking and no one knows that he's up in the air. And they look up and they like, this dude's up in the air, man.
What, that was at a church?
Yeah,
that was at a church.
Straight circus, man, literally. That boy was on the thing, man. The Little Circus, man.
Man, shoot.
Look at that, man. Hey, where y'all from?
Taiwan?
Okay.
Okay.
How long y'all been here?
2 years. 2 years? Oh,
okay. Are y'all in school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I made some movies, some videos.
Are we preaching the gospel?
Yeah.
The Bible. How in the Bible?
In the Bible.
The gospel of Yahawashi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Who y'all might know is Jesus.
For the Christmas, right?
No, not for this.
Not for Christmas. Not for Christmas.
Yeah.
We do it every Saturday. We out here every weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we put it on YouTube. We put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
We teach and then we put it on YouTube. Church.
You got a card on you?
Oh.
You have a card? He's gonna give us a card.
You got a card with the information on it.
Yeah.
I think I got it.
You still got a card?
Still filming? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
We take questions and stuff like that, so we don't mind.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Subscribe.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
That's just the spirit. How we were just saying, though. You never know. They might, although they probably don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
But
you know,
never know. They could be Israel.
Yeah.
Like I say, they got a whole church, man, in the Philippines.
Yep. With the name Yahweh.
The name Yahweh.
Yahawashi.
Yep. They follow me and I follow them on Facebook.
Yep.
She be responding on a lot of my posts and I be on her liking her posts she be putting up.
It's scattering, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what
You gotta use the gospel message, man. One day someone pop up, they probably out there, probably baptized in the name of Yahweh Yahawashi.
Man, yeah, you never know.
You're not knowing what's going on. That's why you don't know when the end's gonna come, because you don't know who's doing what work, man.
Right.
The works of the Lord are hidden among men.
Come on, huh?
You know.
That's one of the things, man. Because I used to be like, man, ain't nobody out here doing the gospel.
Well, you don't know in what parts of the world what's going on. Though.
Yeah, we don't know, man, over there, man. They probably be baptized in that.
That's what I say. When you was in that little small circle over there, that's all you was confined to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once you got out of that, you can kind of see that Israel is broad, man.
Yeah.
It's way broader than what they little world
Yeah,
is.
because the narrative is all about what camps and GMS popped up.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, you have a lot of
Like
people.
I was in contact with the brother from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I was in contact with the brother from the Philippines, man.
They got a few. They got a bunch of people in the Philippines, bro.
Yeah.
Like they got a bunch of women that be on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, that's in the truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
They following brothers and everything.
Yep.
Man, shoot, Jake dropped a lot of seed over there in the Philippines, man.
Well, there's people in the Philippines before that. 'Cause that's the talk. That, you know.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Vietnam. I'm thinking of Vietnam. Because over in Vietnam, that's
Yeah.
doing
But
that.
even then, even
Yep.
before Vietnam, because a lot of times what's being taught to us is like recent history.
Yeah.
We're not being. We don't realize history before 1492. You don't know about journeys and expeditions of people that moved out over there going back that time.
What was that thing called, man? Where they went over
Because you
there?
had the Moros out there in the Philippines. You had different kingdoms and stuff like that, Middle Age kingdoms. You had the book, the medieval Empire of the Israelites.
Yep, I got that book, man. That book is worth a lot now, bro. They put it on Amazon
And
for
that
like
book
$400.
chronicles like how Israelites had kingdoms all over the world.
Yep,
And that was based on some of the customs that they were keeping.
yep.
The way that they did their way they did everything, like children,
Yeah.
their births are issued, all that stuff. That was like a common thing that was done in the Middle Ages to show the people how to have the same culture.
Yep.
And some of the things that they believed in. Heck, if you go into China,
China too.
the Kingdom
Yep.
of Heaven, they had a kingdom called the Kingdom of Heaven, where the guy said that he was a descendant.
Yep.
They were related to
Brother wearing
to one of
wearing fringes and everything. Look straight like Chinese. Wearing fringes and doing the high holy feast and everything, man.
The Kingdom of Heaven, which was taken down by the Greater Han Dynasty, I believe, back in the late 17th century. You guys was already believing back then, and they had their own little thing, but they got taken down in the Middle Ages, just like everybody else did.
Shoot, they
So
had
the thing is deep, man. It's deep. It's deeper than people see on surface level.
because they had that's like in that Vietnamese piece I was talking about. I had old Jake, about 65, man. He was in Vietnam in the Vietnam War, and he was saying how when the Viet Cong would come in, you know, when Jake was on lookout, the Viet Cong would sneak up on him, put the gun to his head, and be like, "Black man, get out of Vietnam. The war is not for you. It's not for you. Go back home, go back home." And so Jake, what they would do to get out of it, they would just shoot themselves in the foot just to come back home. Now, when Esau was on post, Viet Cong come up in there, loot, take him straight out, man. Dude was telling me these stories, man. He said, one Jake brother, this is how Esau is. He got to a point where they was taking out all those Edomites who were on guard duty, so they put all Jakes out there because they knew the Viet Cong wasn't going to kill them. Now, son, not to say that some of them Jakes didn't get smashed by the Viet Cong, they did, but they actually gave them a chance. They say, "Hey, man, look, you got, man, go home. This war is not with you. It's not with you."
Yeah, because the leader of the Viet Cong was a guy who was like he studied under Marcus Garvey.
Yep.
So he had a lot of he learned a lot about the struggle against Esau through what he learned from Marcus Garvey and a lot of the independent movements that was going on among so-called black people. So by default, he really wasn't anti so-called black because of the fact that he learned from Marcus Garvey.
And then
he was what you call a Garveyite.
And don't think that the Viet Cong ain't forgot that stuff, because they had a massacre. It's called the Ming Tao Massacre, I think, it's something like that. The Ming Tao Massacre, where they went in, it's nothing but rice. Them Vietnamese was out there picking rice and everything. Esau get in the choppers.
Oh yeah.
Go out there.
Oh, don't forget about the Agent Orange.
They show it in some of their movies. When they watch them old Vietnam movies, they'll show them mowing down.
And you know what?
Vietnamese and
you
just
talk
on the
to some of them
helicopter.
Vietnamese. I know some Vietnamese that I work with, man. And you know, I
had a boss that was born in Vietnam. One of my old bosses.
Yeah.
He was born in Vietnam, and he was one of the kids that was brought here during that time.
Yeah.
He was a kid when the war happened, and they brought him over here.
Yeah, man.
He was tall. He was like 6'4". Vietnamese dude. That boy was like 6'4", bro.
I'm telling you, man.
He was a director at my old job.
Yeah, so I'm Esau done did his job. He did a real good job too on our people. because we out our minds, man. You can just see Jake's walking up and down this thing, man, with the bacchanal spirit, man.
Yep. They got the feast. They got this, what they call the holiday spirit on it.
Yeah, got that.
The holiday spirit.
This stuff.
That's why people got it red and green, man. It makes people even go when they go to the store and they want to buy something. And they're subconscious. They be like, let me get that green.
Yeah. Knowing they wouldn't have.
Knowing they hate green, but they just gonna get it. You know. They just gonna get it anyway. You know.
Yep.
That's what they want to do, man. It's like they want to be like Esau. It tells you that in whom they want to be like in all things, man. So it tells you in Maccabees.
Yep.
That's why Esau can't take Jake seriously. Another Jake got killed, unarmed, whatever. Man, you waking up, you're still gonna be out here with the ugly sweater. You're gonna get the dab sweater with the so-called Black Santa doing this, right?
Yep, that's it.
Right?
That's it, man.
Esau like, man, y'all guys ain't serious. If all you Jakes just stop even acknowledging these holidays, man, Esau get freaking scared. Immediately, he'd be like, what the hell's going on?
Immediately, bro.
Fear would come into his heart.
Because you can even see it, man, because a lot of people starting to fall away from this football spirit, too. They still making money, but they having certain teams up here actually giving tickets and trying to make people come to the stadiums, bro. Because people kind of, they starting to get hip to the game, man. I ain't saying they totally waking up, may just be financial reasons.
But there is, what's it called? There are certain things that are going on that you can measure where you can see they do. Listen, Esau looks at viewership. He has Nielsen report ratings, Nielsen ratings, which basically your ratings of your shows, how many people are watching it.
Right.
And they compare them year by year.
And when they
realize it's an all-time low, all-time this, all-time that. Now, some of them will say it could be social media, yada yada, but it doesn't explain heavy drops year by year because the social media was around last year. So they know that you can't count that people are using more YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter to get highlights and stuff. As the reason why there was this big of a decline year by year. It's just not possible. They know that. So it shows you that people are gaining some more of a consciousness about things, or they're getting they're not enchanted no more, they're disenchanted. Right? Because that's the whole point of the media, is to enchant you into lies, into this system. It's a bread and circus. So if people start circling their wagon, it's like saying, listen, man, stuff ain't looking right. Even our people are getting a little bit wiser day by day. Some of them are getting wiser, maybe not gospel wise, but they're getting wiser to the system. That's why the voter turnout was low. In this last election cycle. They know that's because people are realizing it's lies. And see, that's why in 2020, if there is an election, I guarantee you there's going to be an all-time low. There's probably going to be a damn near all-time low voter turnout among so-called black men. You can put that in the bank. When they look at that stuff, they're going to be like, man, they didn't even vote.
And what does that do? What Esau goes by is that indicator panel. They see that indicator like, something's wrong here, bro.
They're either going to do one or two things. Either these Jakes are going to... For real. They're either going to vote Republican out of spite, or they're going to not vote at all. Because some guys, they're Babylonians. They want to be American, so they want to participate. If they don't participate in the election, they don't feel American. So some of these Jakes, they're...
By that time.
Got a number 2.
Look at that. Number 2, bro. Man, let me read this, bro. Dang. This is dang, bro. That's.
Excuse me. Wait, Chester, where's the park where the Christmas tree is?
Right around the corner right here. Go to the right, make a right.
Thank you.
See it on the left. Not that I know, but I've seen it on the way in.
Ephraim, let him alone. He's drawn into idols, man. She ain't gonna listen. She want to see that truth. They came down here to
want to see it.
That's it. This is Matthew 26:6. Now when Yahawashi was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, To what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahawashi understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman hath done be told for a memorial of her. And with that, we like to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to you brothers and sisters waiting on the deliverance of our Lord and Savior Yahawashi. Shalom.
Shalom.